Good morning, everyone. Today we'll continue Siman Reish Samech Zayin. We'll do Seif Aleph, Beis, and Gimel, the three Simonim. We'll talk about the concept of tefillah davening in Erev Shabbos. Is the concept first? Are we doing Nefilas Sapayim or not? What about in Birkas Hamazon? You know, we always in the week we say Al Narois Bavel. But what about Erev Shabbos? Right away from Chatzos for Minchah time, you already say what? Like it's close to Shabbos. So right away we say what? Shir HaMalos, because the Kedush of Erev Shabbos, since it's connected to Shabbos, after the 5th hour, that's already considered a part of Shabbos, and that's why we already say Shir HaMalos instead of Al Narois Bavel. So let's see the halacha. Betfilas Mincha be'erev Shabbos en noflim al pneim. We don't do Tachanun. And as we said, why? Because that it's part of Shabbos, and in Shabbos is no time of we don't say Tachanun. We'll continue. The next halacha Beis. Yeah. Magdimim litpalel arbis yoyso b'moisachol. The Mechaber says since years ago, when they used to daven Ma'ariv, that was the time that people knew that's the time to accept Shabbos. So since that's the time to accept Shabbos, that's why Magdimim, we always want the Moisim Michoil ala Kodesh, waiting from the week to Shabbos. Magdimim litpalel arbis yoyso b'moisachol. And when is the earliest time when Plag HaMinchah yochol lahadlik or lekabel Shabbos tefillas Arukh uvelechol miyad. So you're already what? You're already from Plag HaMinchah. It's 1 hour and 15 minutes. So it's between from seif or from Plag HaMinchah. You already could light the candle for Shabbos. You can already take you not only take Shabbos, you daven the tefillah of Shabbos. You can have the meal of Shabbos at that time. Yeah? And why? Because already that's considered part of Shabbos. And even if you finish earlier, before Shkia, but after Plag, you can start to eat. But it says a half an hour before you shouldn't eat. Why? Because that's already, because of Krishma. But we have to add one thing that he adds, make sure you don't forget to say Kriyat Shema. After that, that's after Tzeis HaKechovim. Because Kriyat Shema is always later. But for sure you can daven earlier and there's no problem. Says also, the Mishnah Brurah says that don't forget also by the eating kazayis, make sure, if it's already late towards Shabbos, try to make after it's dark, after it says to eat kazayis bread. We're adding also in similar Reish Tzadik Aleph, it says also by Shalosh Shidduch, make sure, let's say you eat even later, but make sure you eat kazayit before when it's still day, because the main din of eating it's in the day, you have to have Shalosh Shidduch in Shabbos, in the day of Shabbos. So the day it starts on the night and it goes into the day. But not to eat after that Motzei Shabbos, even though the Kedusha continues, or in Erev Shabbos that it's you started earlier, to moistif michol ala kodesh, but make sure that the kazayit you eat during Shabbos himself.
If you haven't said Plag HaMinchah, though, you're allowed to keep eating, right?
Oh, that's a machlokes Mishnah Brurah. It's a whole shaila. What do you do if you continue? Well, that's a Rosh Chodesh. What happens then? So really it says it's better if you eat kazayit before, so then you're already obligated, so then there's no problem, I said, to say Yalav Yov, and even though you make benching later. But if you didn't eat kazayit before, then it's a problem, and the Mishnah Brurah says it's a huge problem. Okay, very good question. The next halacha Gimel, even in the davening, we still have different davening. Bebikas Hashkiveinu, enochotem Shomer amo Yisrael lad. We don't say like in the weekend. We say what? Haporeis sukkas shalom aleinu. We have a whole different nusach, or because we don't need Shmira and Shabbos. Shabbos himself, that's the protection. So since we have Shabbat, that's the protection. We don't say Shomer amo protected us. אלא כיוון שהגיע uvetzeil kenafecha tastireinu, אומר ufros, סוכת שלום עלינו ועל ירושלים עירך ברוך אתה השם haporeis סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים. So basically, since is no really din shmira, that's why we don't have to also between. That's why we don't say, we say different. Not Shomer Amo Yisrael. What about v'shomu bnei Yisrael es Shabbos? So also over here, the world, yeah. So the two says why you say v'shomu, yes. Why we say v'shomu bnei Yisrael es Shabbos? Because it says if the Jewish people, it says in the two, if the Jewish people keep 2 Shabbos, Mashiach is going to come. So the Gul is right there. So that's why we say v'shomu bnei Yisrael es Shabbos. and what about a hefsek? So he said that's like a tefillah richtet. They can see a long tefillah, and that's why it's no problem. And also it's brought in the Ramah that is no din lismach gula tefillah in Shabbos. Why? Because it's all smichas gula tefillah. It's all one. And you learn it from the psukim yancha Hashem b'imtzor. But the Gemara says you don't say v'shomu bnei Yisrael es Shabbos. You don't say that. Why? We know not the mafsik between gula and tefillah. That's the Gemara says you don't say that. Anyhow, I want to wish everyone a good day today. Especially today was, we had sirens over here. So it means we have to just mechazik ourselves. And Bezrat Hashem, Shomer Yisrael, Shmo Sheris Yisrael, Al Yovad Shem Yisrael, Bezrat Hashem.